Listen up. You are now listening to News with My Fiancé with DJ Ambush and Morgan Jones.
Good morning. Great morning. How you doing? Welcome to News with My Fiancé with Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush. We are reporting live from Snowmageddon 2025.
Ooh, we didn't even plan that.
No, we didn't. It's pretty good.
Snowmageddon!
So, you have us for the next hour and a half, giving you minute-to-minute updates on weather conditions inside the...
We don't have a window.
On weather conditions inside the radio station.
Tricky business.
It's a balmy 73.
Where?
On the inside in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we can... Yeah. We can't really... We don't know what's going on outside at the moment.
No. But
At the moment, in our area, nothing had happened yet.
yes.
Besides the bitter cold.
And the wind.
Yes.
This cold ain't sitting still.
No.
This is a move. It is breezy outside.
Breezy's a word.
Men alike. I mean, am I in a cute little coastal town right now? I didn't ask for that.
I don't think so. I don't
Are you sure? Because
I'm pretty positive that's not where you're at.
what's it, Dean's Hearts? I feel like I'm somewhere there.
You know, I wonder...
It has to. They're right there on the water.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
This is bitter.
It's bitter cold. How are y'all doing? I hope y'all still in the house. Shout out to the fiancés. They're on their way to work or at work already. Y'all are brave ones. Y'all are amazing. It's chilly with you.
You know, inclement weather should include how cold it gets. Is that a thing? I mean, besides...
I think so.
But I mean for work. Like, if you take public transportation and you have to wait for the bus for 20 minutes or something, I don't know that I can make it to work.
No. I mean, unfortunately, it's probably left up to the employers. But it should be like state of emergency. I do believe state of emergency includes just temperatures too.
Well, it definitely does when, like, they need to open warming centers and things like that. Everything better be operating right now is all I know. Everything better be open.
They started opening warming centers last night.
It was bitter cold all week.
Listen.
No. When the feels like is in the 20s, we ain't got nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk. What do you mean opened last night? You know what?
Morgan, listen, this is about being able to provide resources to our homeless friends and family during inclement weather, okay? What you're discussing is the larger issue with houselessness, and these are two separate issues, okay? So the warming centers are for when it's cold. It's not for when you need to have a place to live.
I want to know. Bob, if you're listening, that's me stopping myself from cursing. I just resigned. I just deflated. I fell flat.
We got a couple of amazing texts already. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Michelle.
So good morning. Text fam can handle the field reporting.
Nice. Yes. All y'all already on your way to work. Text us.
AJ said 30-degree weather is violence.
Period.
This is environmental violence.
Period. Good morning, AJ. Like, seriously? 30 degrees but feels like 12? Like,
yikes. Matt said, good morning. I'm up getting my clothes together. Clothes ready to be outside.
No. What are you doing that for?
WTF.
Matt?
Oh, my goodness.
Are you going into the field to be our field reporter? Because that's not what we wanted. We wanted the people that are already out and about, not for you to go out and be outside all day.
Matt, a letter carrier, I believe.
Oh, is that right?
Sheesh. I don't know.
Can you let us know how those socks, what?
No. I was waiting. I was interested.
Do this. Are they warm?
Oh.
Because they're uniform socks, right? Like you have to have a certain socks.
I don't think there are any special issues. They should be though. Them and the UPS socks, compression and warmth.
I can't see the names, so I don't know who this is, but they said I saw a guy waiting for the bus last night at 9 p.m. in shorts and a t-shirt. And this is what I'm talking about. Like,
that is horrible.
Okay, but that is...
that was bad.
Oh, that was...
Yeah.
That... Come on.
What about it? What exactly are you saying? What's it come on for?
I feel like that person doesn't have a coat, or that person doesn't have pants.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's the choice of, I'm just going to throw on a Columbia shell, vest shell thingy.
Gotcha.
With my shorts and my... trail shoes.
Okay, so you know what? Again, this is about us growing up in different places and having different perspectives. What you initially described to me was white people on the East Coast, normal winter behavior.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of full coat but shorts that you see in Portland, but not
especially
during
slides.
Yeah. You're getting no argument out of me.
Yeah.
But is there no line? I mean, I think there's when it feels like 20 degrees.
No, I mean,
if you have a coat,
what you're saying is 100% correct. What I'm saying is because of where I grew up, I'm not used to seeing as many white homeless people. So when you're talking about someone being outside in the winter, dressed like that, the first thing that comes to my mind isn't
they don't have
someone without.
Yeah.
This is someone that made a choice. Because
see how capitalism got you?
Boom. Capitalism, racism, educationism.
Good morning, C's. C said, told y'all there was no global warming. The GOP.
Signed the GOP. This message brought to you in part by.
And correct, there is no global warming. It's so much so they had to change the name to climate change.
Yo, AJ said, good morning. It's so cold, I lost my manners.
Fam. I'm taking that one with me for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's gone.
Right in my pocket. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm
These lack of manners brought to you in part by cold.
frigid temperatures. Snowmageddon 2025.
So, do you want the snow? We know Bree does. Bree has wanted snow since Christmas.
Indeed.
She won't do without it. She loves it.
I like snow. I like a snow day. I like living in a place where snow means a snow day.
Yeah.
Half
an inch is a snow day.
I don't know why you're trying to tell C's that right now.
Oh, see,
It's pretty much a quarter of an inch. But anyway.
they will shut the city down. Seas. If there's an inch of cover, seas, whole city shut down.
What you're forgetting to tell people, and very specifically C's in this moment, is that much of Portland's winter weather includes ice.
Yeah.
And ice isn't actually drivable. Period. We don't need to ice trucker, motorcycle ice racing. We don't need to talk about these things.
But no, bring that point up though.
Which
That also, you guys didn't get the winter hazard equipment until recently.
yesterday.
People they put a post up. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago with the name of their 5 new snow trucks.
Yeah, which I think before that we had 2.
Yeah,
Maybe 3.
yeah.
I don't know.
There was no salting. There was no sand. There was no none of that stuff was happening.
There's salmon in those rivers.
Right. So that's the other thing too. Huge factor.
Yeah.
There's no infrastructure.
There's no infrastructure here for that weather because that's not the kind of weather that we
It's
would
not our
normally.
weather.
We don't live with that
You didn't purchase that.
throughout the winter. You
Yeah.
may get a storm, and I can understand the idea that that's not if it's a mite.
Yeah.
And it's a not actually. Let me take all of this back. I don't really know. I'm not a city planner. I don't know how much infrastructure we should have had already. I think about it in the way of pretty ill prepared my entire life. So I don't know. Maybe not great.
I mean, having the observation of how reactionary most systems systems are, it would make sense. I mean, it's a fair conclusion. We don't need this. We're not going to spend millions of dollars on it. Even to prep, hey man, we don't need it. That's that. I hear what you're saying, but we don't even know the degree to which we will need it in the future. So we're not spending any money on it. All right, cool.
We're just not set up for it. Like when I moved to Denver and saw that that you can build roads that are like made for runoff. They're they have a spot for all of the things to go.
Right.
I was like, whoa, look at this engineering here. Like you can just drive on this.
Oh.
But there's the difference. You can drive on packed snow, dry snow that's and there's no real moisture to make it. Yeah, no problem. But here that's not. We get sleet, we get winter mix. We don't get just inches of dry snow. It's like once you get some of that dry snow, you also got some sleet on top of that, and then you got some more dry snow, and then you got some sleet, and then it melted a little bit, and then it got really cold, and now you're ice skating rink.
Yeah.
So to be fair to the area, I didn't like that look you just gave me, and I know that doesn't make for good radio, but sorry, friends, I didn't like it.
Guys,
he looked at me like, okay, wrap it up.
no,
We're done with you.
I was going to also say, based on a lot of people moving up here from Cali, it makes for difficult driving for people that aren't used to driving on either wet conditions or snow. That's all.
I mean, I do appreciate that.
That's what
There's also people who, are here from Washington that have the same experience and can't drive worth a dang anyway either. So,
You know what, guys? Snowpocalypse 2025.
there you go. Moving
All right.
forward.
Yeah.
Can any of our field reporters let us know the temperature, though, and when this snow is supposed to start? Or did it start anywhere?
Yeah, right.
I've been up since 5. I didn't see a flake.
Jeez. That means you got 0 sleep.
That is correct. I'm completely delirious right now. So,
You're doing good.
thank you.
Sheesh.
Anybody else basically not sleep? Are we twinsies or?
I wonder if Elon's son is asleep.
Whoop.
He had a big day.
He had a big day.
He had a big day in the big office.
He had a big day in a room he don't care about, is what he had.
Can I tell you this?
Please.
Man, this is just the Uncle Am in me. I want to see him in a little suit.
It was basically in a little.
Like a little heavy trench on top of him, just walking around, just swinging up arms, just walking around the Oval Office and telling people what to do.
I mean, that's basically, he told that guy, you're not the president. You need to go away.
Do you think Fox will jump on that?
No. What do you mean?
Wait.
Okay, let me not pretend to know what Fox will do. But what do you mean jump on it?
Good
That
point.
they'll be like, oh, adorable. Look at that cute little guy
He's got
saying
lots
funny
of
things out of the mouths of babes.
Yeah, you're right.
Or do you mean they're going to be like, unbelievable, Elon Musk is doing a terrible job raising this up? They're not going to do that.
Yeah, you're right. They're not going to do either of those. They're not going to get that happen. Fox definitely has done this several times in the past. The entire world keep talking about this one thing, and they'll be like, and puppies.
In other news,
What?
don't you love dogs?
What? Excuse me?
Yeah, I mean, I wish that they would talk about it. Only because I think it's hilarious that clearly Elon has been saying things negative about one Trump for, I don't know, how is that kid for? I'm not good at figuring out how old children are.
Right.
But like that's a little kid. And he was like, I want you to shut your mouth up to the sitting president. But he also used the F word there and was like, shut your mouth up.
Shut your mouthy mouth up.
You're not the president. I want you to go away.
Right.
Or you need to go away. Like that, Elon has said that. He's not the president anyway.
Right.
Make him go. I got to get him out of here. You know he has.
So much so his son has heard it.
Also, and I'm not going to spend much time on that guy, but like anybody else real peeved that he was just holding a conference at the Oval Office? Like, what is he doing here?
Right. Right.
I'm starting to lose it. I'm not, and I don't mean in the way of just like getting caught up in this circus because, well, maybe I am losing it because I'm not, I feel like there's no way to keep up. I don't have any idea how many things have happened.
Girl.
It's just like everything keeps shutting and then there's a pause or it comes back and then it's shut and then it, you know, like.
We're back in it. We're right back in it. We talked about it the first time it happened. Just the pylon of news just buried up to your neck. And I'm sorry, what just happened? No, I couldn't. Wait, what? What's going on? That can't be happening.
C said Trump hasn't been embarrassed like this since the Obama White House Correspondents' Dinner. And let me say, if that is the case, and that is one of the major catalysts for us having him as a dictator right now, what does that mean for us?
Right, right.
He's in power. What does that mean?
Yeah. Michelle, absolutely agree. Honestly, I think that's how that kid's dad talks to him and other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. I think that he... is that AJ?
Yeah.
That tiny menace is letting it all out. Proud tired of being a human shield. This is wild what we're witnessing. 1000%.
Yeah.
Like, back to Michelle's point, I absolutely agree. This is either you are hearing this around you or to you. You are hearing shut your mouth up as the 4-year-old. But I think there's a more of a correlation only because I've been around a lot of kids. Very rarely.
I love him so much.
Does a kid say some wild thing to someone who doesn't lightweight deserve it?
Yeah.
Like, I want you to shut your mouth up coming from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I just like to just say out loud how much I loved Trump's response to that was like, sort of like when my mom doesn't hear you, but then pretends like she heard you and it's just like, huh, anyway.
Said something to me.
Like, did you hear him, Trump, or no? Could you read those lips?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Somebody texted, this will make Trump start an electric car company out of spite.
Speaking of electric car companies, the woman who's going to run for prime minister in Canada, who's trying to be the leader of the Liberal Party, was like, we will impose 100% tariffs on basically Trump assets. Like, so Elon's a big deal to you, 100% tariff on Teslas. Have fun. And we encourage other countries that are being impacted by these bullies to do the same.
Nice.
She said, our reprisal will be targeted to his constituencies.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Meanwhile, Hakeem Jeffries was like, oh, man, we ain't even got no leverage around here. What are we supposed to do? They got all the power.
Our problem is our messaging. All right, Hakeem.
Boy,
do you have a solution for
that? He's about
problem?
to find out what his problem is. He's about to find out what his problem is because you can only be the darling of the Democratic Party as a black person for so long.
As long as you're useful.
As long as you're useful. And you are not serving right now, sir.
Bro.
You are not serving. And if the leadership of the party is just like, man, hands up, what are you gonna do? You know, they got all the power, guys. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
You better find some solutions there, sir. Maybe another Kente cloth photo shoot.
I'm sorry?
I said you should find some solutions, maybe like another Kente cloth photo shoot.
It is Black History Month.
Yeah.
Could we not ask for the things we don't need?
I don't know if we don't need it, though.
We don't need
It's
it.
a pick-me-up.
To who? It's a
For me,
something.
for sure.
It's a pick something.
Come on, down on one knee with the Kente
Only
cloth.
if Nance wears a nice bright colored suit like the orange one before. Give me a nice yellow, you know?
Yeah, spruce it up a little bit.
C said, and our inability to keep up is being done by design. They want us numb and apathetic, 1,000%.
Yep.
All of this is just too hard, just can't, so I'm just not going to pay attention. You know, like, how many people do you know say exactly that? Well, I don't watch the news. It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's just too sad. And to be clear, I don't know what's going on in everybody's life. I'm not trying to say that, you know, you're out of pocket for that. I think, you know, a lot of people are because a lot of people don't have as much going on. In that is, you know, a lot of the people that say it to me are like doing fine.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I guess running from the news is cool.
It's interesting when being informed is an option. It's
There we
quite
go.
the privilege, you know? What does it matter? It's no big deal. It'll sort itself out. No, itself will sort you out.
It will.
You will be sorted.
You will get sorted.
Yeah.
And you won't like it.
You won't like it, where they're going to put you, and what they're going to do with you, and have you doing. You know what I'm saying?
AJ said Nance can't kneel. She's still healing from her new Norway hip.
Stop
See,
it.
this is another thing I can't keep up with. Did you go to Norway to get a new hip? Because that's going to be hilarious
Well, you can't get one here.
if the former Speaker of the House has to travel to a foreign country to get a
Great healthcare.
You know what?
To get the best healthcare. We're the greatest nation. I don't know if you know that.
I'm still trying to figure out what they mean by great.
Hmm.
Because when they say greatest,
Yeah.
what are they comparing it to? Not other countries. It can't be that. It can't be that. Like, I think that this is just like you think America is the world. So you're like, we're the greatest in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. You get your act together.
You don't have to have traveled anywhere to know that it sucks here. And by that, I mean, like, you don't.
Not sure.
You don't have to have seen, the government working for people somewhere else. You don't have to see it to know that it happens elsewhere. You may need to see it to believe it. Maybe, maybe I'll give some folks that. Maybe that's just completely unbelievable and you have to see it. But
yeah, probably for a lot of folks.
I don't know. Like, I with what you get here, and by that I mean nothing. Boots on necks, oppression at every turn, depending on your status. You don't know what a good life looks like, but you have been convinced that you got it better than somebody else who's living in whatever other country, that it could never be anything better than this.
Yes.
Again, back to what C, I was about to start screaming. What C said earlier, where that is purposeful, it is the point to keep us confused and keep us thinking that we are in some way winning.
Yeah.
It could be worse. I mean, anything could be worse. But how bad does it have to be before we're like, hey man, I've had it?
We have traded our access to entertainment and creature comforts. We've traded that for our rights. And it'll continue to happen until there's nothing left to trade. Nothing.
I mean, we're coming up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Swiftly.
how many genocides do we do for cobalt? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many are we going to do for minerals?
Right.
This text says, we are the greatest nation on earth because we spend multitudes more on our military than other countries. That's what great means in this sense.
That's Matt.
Matt, a little too real for the radio today.
Faux show.
Wow.
AJ said,
exactly it.
my bad, heard you German.
Okay, so we still traveled though. We still had to go?
Yeah,
We still had to go.
Woo.
Wowie wee wow.
Mm.
This might be P-Town, I think. Fantastic Rising. Mother Nature is about to give them something for their McPockets. Fam?
I forgot to mention, just popped in my head, Mother Nature, weather, ice. So, just giving you guys correlations.
Yeah, no, that was... Mm-hmm.
So, I can't remember which agency is being asked to monitor online activity. But what they're trying to do is if you are online saying things disparaging about ICE, they want to track that information.
Oh, I wonder why.
They want to gather the data on those folks.
Weird.
Yep. They'll be out here.
Gather the data? They have it. Gather it from where? Just decide. Now I know that you said
separate spreadsheet.
Free Palestine.
Yeah.
And so definitely.
Yeah. It's going to be in a separate spreadsheet now. Did you talk trash about ICE? Did you repost something about
held
ICE?
By a 19-year-old?
More than likely.
I want y'all to remember this. The same people that were like, got to get that China out of our data.
Well,
got to get that foreign country out of our data. Can't have a foreign government looking at our things. Super totally fine. No problem at all to have the foreign billionaire, richest man in the world, chewing on all of our data. No biggies.
None.
He's actually in there helping.
What you just illustrated is why no one, including the Dems, we can't do this verbal back and forth with the Republican Party. We can't. They consistently say one thing and do whatever they want. So at what point do you stop exchanging words with them?
Oh,
you know
I've been past that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Sorry, you're not talking about me.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's this whole reach across the aisle, sit down, my partners. Listen. You are in an abusive relationship with the Republican Party. You just are. You Dems. You people that want to have these. It's like, stop trying to convince us that you are concerned with what they say and that what they say actually matters. They have done a very good job communicating to the general population that what they say does not matter at all. Like, to hear Jasmine Crockett say, well, off the record and behind closed doors in these hallways,
all these Republicans
are saying, I don't care. But you shouldn't care either, Jazz. You really shouldn't care. Because they get in that room and they vote how and they show you what. Don't matter what they say to you behind closed doors. That stuff does not matter.
Well, more than anything, it should show you that you guys are playing two different games. So, like, you said you're in an abusive relationship. I don't necessarily know exactly where you're going with that. So I don't want to, jump in on some. I disagree. But this is Kendrick and Drake. They are talking about different things. They are arguing different points. They are talking past each other.
Yeah.
This cycle is what they think. A lot of them think the job is.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are fine with that being the job. And that, once we get our chance to govern again, we'll make it better. And they'll see that the Democrats actually do a better job than that. Nah, because you have still decided I will not look at the root cause of these issues. I'm going to dance around. I'm going to pretend economic anxiety is the reason anybody votes for anything.
Right.
Y'all are still playing pretend. You still think that decorum matters when these people have literally been eating drywall in your face for 80 years.
Way to censor yourself.
Thank you.
That's all. That's all to your face.
Thank you.
Like these people.
Thank you.
I saw it. Like these people.
They're just not. They're not.
Yeah.
It is the point. The cruelty is the point. All the cute, hashtagable things. They mean it. They are serious. They are not ignorant to what they're doing.
No.
And, I'm just, we got to make sure we have decorum. They don't care about any of that. And have we really not understood what it looks like when men who are lusting for power finally get it? We really don't know what that looks like?
You know why we don't? History. No one teaches it. No one takes the lessons from it.
No one teaches it.
Well, okay.
Lots of people teaching history. There's
Fine.
not a lot of people
Shout out to the
absorbing
history
it.
teachers. There it is. So, right. They don't see that everything that's happening right now has happened time and time again. They don't see that what is happening right now, the U.S. has done in foreign nations. Like, they don't.
No, just got no clue.
The U.S. aid situation. So, in the past, I didn't pay too much attention to what that agency actually does, what that organization actually does. And to hear that shutting it down isn't necessarily a bad thing, because what we're hearing that they do now is they're, instrumental in destabilizing countries. It's like they use the gift of resources, food and grain and things like that. But what they really are in there doing is running operations.
Yeah.
And it's like, wowzers. We don't want you guys doing that. Whilst at the same time, the other thing that you're doing is extremely useful, extremely helpful to these other countries. This is horrible.
Oh, yeah.
And Elon's like, shut it all down. It doesn't care what's happening. I don't care what's going on. Shut it all down.
Because they are trying to pay for their own tax cuts and their own contracts. They are going to take all of this. I mean, this is the most massive wealth transfer that is about to happen, right? Like, if you really understand, I don't even know where do I start?
No.
Where to begin on how ridiculous this is? Because we don't have any reason, none whatsoever, to not recognize what this is.
Right.
We really don't. Yes, for all of the misinformation that we get, yes, depending on what year you went to school and what kind of school you went to, you might not know about certain historical things.
Right.
The internet is at your fingertips. It is at nearly everyone's fingertips. Certainly the people that are in office, certainly the people that are running for office, certainly the people that are trying to help govern people's agendas, right? Like, it's right there. Certainly the person who is working, getting their back broken every day by some crazy labor job that then, if you're a brown person, I guess it's low skilled, but if you're a white rural person, it's just like, good for you doing one of those good jobs. I don't know.
Backbone of America.
Backbone of America.
Easily.
Like, you have nothing in common with someone who is a billionaire. Even if you're aspirational to becoming one. Many of the people that think in that way don't even understand what you have to do to amass that kind of wealth. So they don't realize this means I'm going to exploit millions of people, or I am going to steal from millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
Because this idea that we can build yourself up from the ground up and be a billionaire is prevalent, but it's fake. You cannot do that. There is no ethical way to hoard that much wealth. And this particular one certainly knows that. This particular one from South Africa certainly knows the subjugation that goes into amassing wealth.
He's totally fine with it. Loves it.
And you might too, if that was your entire life.
Yep.
You might too not care, not realize what that means outside of what you directly see at the end of your nose. That is not making excuses for him. Again, he has access to everything to find out just how awful he is. Who does that though? Mm-hmm. Someone with this ego, someone with this level of insecurity and like just fragility is never going to make sure he fact checks himself before he says a thing.
Mm-hmm. And doesn't have to worry about the consequences.
What consequence?
Exactly. Of spreading misinformation, disinformation, and not having all the facts.
Dude bought the social media app that was what everybody used for news. He bought that and said, we don't do reality here. He bought it and said, bring the Nazis back, for one. Definitely need them because free speech. Definitely, you can no longer say things like Gaza or Palestine, though. That'd be crazy. Can't say genocide. What would you do that for? Nothing about free speech there, I guess. That's just some woke agenda. I seriously cannot understand how there are people who are willing to side with people that out loud are just on some like genocide, shememicide. You know, like, what are you going to do? We're going to rebuild it. We're going to make it look good. You know, those people cannot come back here, but like, it'll be a great place for the new people who can afford it.
Mm.
We'll make it beautiful. What?
What do you say, the Riviera?
Who cares?
Bruh.
Is this Rudo?
Which one?
We have a text that says, Snowmageddon! What up, my blood pack?
It is Rudes.
Hi, Rudo.
man,
How's your
Rudes.
morning? More important. Hi, Harper. How's your morning?
Wow. Wow.
What?
Wow. It's great. I love it. I love it.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of texts.
Yeah. Bob said, hypothetical. A 19-year-old kid shows up to your door.
I shut it. I
Oh.
shut the door. I shut the door. Is that the end?
No.
I shut the door.
Introduces himself as Big Boss and says he's there to take your daughter out.
I have already shut the door, Bob.
Question. Do you let him in? What if he says he wants access to your personal, financial, and tax information?
I wouldn't trust a 19-year-old with their own social security number.
Real talk. Give me your card. I'll keep it on my
I
dresser.
will not trust a 19-year-old to hold a valuable document that they may need for their future, let alone a random one to come into my home and talk about, let me see your taxes. I mean, violence will ensue if you won't leave my home.
Right. Ooh.
I mean, to Bob's point, though. This,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for
Okay.
continuing to jump in there and say things to the hypothetical. This is it, though. That is a person who has absolutely no business being there, coming in and being like, sup, bro, I'm the boss now. No, it's chill. It's chill. I'm totally the boss.
Yeah. Chill out, guys. Everything's all
No. Look, I got access to all of it. And don't worry, I'm only going to read it. It's read only. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to tell anybody. But I do need to see it. I'm one of the fired people because I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And that's not on some like, my boss would be mad at me. I'm not. Who are you?
Dude.
Who are you, child?
You're making it bad.
Out
for
of my
19-year-olds.
face.
You're making it bad for 19-year-olds.
For real.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to be clear, I don't
Michelle
call
said,
every 19-year-old a child. These are children, though.
They are
and your
children.
brains aren't even fully developed. Why are you out here? Go to school.
you finish school.
Finish school.
Michelle said, both adults who are in that Oval Office are children of neo-Nazis and or KKK.
Ooh.
Not a
And or
coincidence. Or KKK.
Ooh. Real.
Not coincidence. It's true. True.
Not a coincidence
Yeah.
at all.
Sees. Instead of reading the Bible each Sunday to the congregation, perhaps the local churches should read from the Project 2025 playbook to their parishioners so they can understand what's happening. I
Listen.
think people are just doze off like they do when the Bible's being read.
Honestly, though, I don't know where else we're going to get people who need to hear this stuff. They don't listen to certain news that talks about it. They're not going to look it up to see what Project 2025 is doing. And they honestly believe they will be unaffected. They didn't say out loud, we're just going to gut the CFPB.
Right.
They didn't say the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau is a problem. They say the CFPB is, we don't even know. Elizabeth Warren's woke self set that up.
Talking about it. She's always on about
She
it.
set that up. So it must be too woke for anybody because DEI hire. Do they even say that about women? Especially white women?
They don't yet. They don't yet.
DEI hires
They don't
the most
realize
white
that.
women and then they
Yeah.
realize it.
Yeah.
This is my thing.
Okay. You are right. They realize it.
They absolutely realize it. They absolutely do not care that the things that they say are wrong, that they are purposely trying to mislead people so that they align with their agenda. They're just don't understand that those same poor people are a part of the plan. You're just number 20, not number 2.
But look, don't worry. We'll get to
But baby, you on the same list as me.
you. We'll get to you.
You're on the same list.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No. So you said USAID provides food and medication to folks all around the world. This the stop work of USAID has food literally spoiling in fridges and folks dying from lack of HIV medication. Imagine cutting off $47 billion in aid to folks in need, over 57,000 of alleged fraud. Yeah, my first piece of information I came across that informed me of the ripple effect of this was seeing people talk about the effect on farmers here, how all the grain and food that they have been growing to send overseas is now just sitting, spoiling. So these are U.S. farmers that are losing money because the government is no longer buying this food from them, and then there's food that's already at docks and at ports of exit that is just sitting there spoiling. And then
as if we don't already have to subsidize our own agriculture. I'm sorry, Ambush.
Yeah, it's all right. But then you have also these countries that have been used to this relationship for however long, that they've been used to getting these resources.
Right.
That just like a light switch, done. Food and medication, done.
I mean, we know that they don't care about anything, right? Anyone outside, whatever the agenda is, they don't care outside of that. But it is wild to see how careless and reckless this entire thing is and how much of a wrecking ball like multiple people get to be right now. Unelected people, this same party that always talked about unelected bureaucrats, bloating the system and got to trim the fat. I guess just throw maybe some of the richest people there and then that's not fat. That's
Marjorie posted, you saw the post?
So.
Literally what you're saying, that they always say, we don't need unelected officials. She went back to that playbook, right? Wrote that whilst sharing the video of Elon in the Oval Office.
Okay. It doesn't surprise me that Marjorie would be upset about an unelected bureaucrat.
Oh, no. She was saying this is not that.
No.
Yeah.
No, she can't be saying that.
She literally was. What we need is more of this and not unelected bureaucrats.
What did she think he is?
People were like,
you know what? She probably did vote for him.
Yeah. I'm voting for Elon. People were like, wait a minute. Are you serious? No, you can't be. You can't be.
Real quick, we did get some field reporting.
We did. P-Town.
P-Town, can you let us know the area?
Right.
But P-Town said, y'all, it's coming down.
Snow's coming down.
And I mean the snow.
Yeah, it's coming down.
We don't have windows in here, so
we're just going to have to.
I'm crossing my fingers. I get to see something when I'm...
Look at you. You're so excited.
I am.
You just Snowmageddon.
Every time it snows, my mom calls me and says, I'm jumping on your bed, because she would come into my room when I was a kid if it snowed. You have to understand. This was not a thing that happened that often here at Ambush.
No, I love this. It's the joy.
So my mom would come into my room, didn't matter what age or... She, as I stated, calls me today. And I'm jumping on your bed. And she would come in and she'd be like, it's snowing. So I am excited.
So as a child, when your mom would come in your room, look at you. Your mom would come in your room and jump on your bed. Would you just be like, with the light just pop
Honestly,
up
I'm
to the
not
window?
sure. I feel like that's not my personality. So I don't know.
Right.
I have a hard time when I'm woken up in a weird way.
Yeah.
That I don't... Everything's discombobulated. I don't know what's going on. All the regular words. Oh, someone said no snow in Northeast. Come on.
That was Jordan Owens.
Jordan Owens. Good morning. Come on. So no snow for us, yeah. Rude.
Man. P-Town said Southeast. They're getting the snow.
Okay, well, hey, on its way.
Yeah. It's making its way.
It's making its way.
You know what? Let's make our way into music people. Let's let people know.
We're probably never going to get to any of our stories
hope to get to
that we've worked really hard on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. In local news,
hey,
Senator Ron Wyden leads Democratic opposition to RFK's HHS nomination. Yay, and he's going to be confirmed.
Most certainly.
Is this union busting? Eastside Sizzle Pie location is meant to close this month amid union busting allegations that are loud. In national news, federal judge gives Trump's IOU program. I guess I should call it Musk's IOU program.
Yeah, definitely Musk's program.
To federal workers, the green light. So we're back on, folks. If you didn't already answer, if you would take a buyout, a IOU from people that don't pay people, you might be SOL now. And Eric Adams immediately reaping the benefits of bootlicking. Just
the turnaround was so quick.
So fast. Some of those federal investigations already dropped by the wayside.
Jorah said, oh, wow. As I sent that text, it started.
Yes! Who's jumping on my bed? Where's my mom?
Brooke said there are flurries by the Lloyd Center.
Thank you. Brooke knows where we live.
News report coming in.
Come on.
Come in.
Thank you, field reporter Fiancé.
We got another one. Thin wispy. No snowflakes. Not a lot.
Okay.
All right.
But that's not the big fat wet ones that definitely don't do anything but make it a slushy problem.
And then Rudo said just razor wins in glamorous St. John's.
Oh, it's on its way, Rudo. Get ready.
Yeah.
Do you get to stay inside today?
I wonder.
Yeah.
And P-Town, it's a magical day for us Portlanders to witness snow.
See?
And with that, head us into a music break.
P-Town's right.
Cheers. Y'all love some snow. Welcome back to News with My Fiancé with Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush. We're getting some more updates, man. P-Town, thanks for the pick. See, the snow is starting to stick out there. A little gathering. Said it's a magical day, like putting chocolates in your coffee day. Wow. It's a real Christmas.
I will only offer that adding a little, Bailey's or Irish cream, something in your coffee. That's a Christmas coffee for me. I'd take something else too, but that's fine.
Oh, yeah. AJ said it's starting in Northwest. And also,
the snow is happening. So a reminder, or not reminder, but breaking news. Equitable Giving Circles free food market that happens every Thursday for Black and brown folks is closed today.
Yeah.
Normally 10 to 2 p.m. Closed today due to the weather.
Yeah.
Bitter temps. And the snow begins.
Man.
So real quick, PCC had called it yesterday. They were like, don't even come here. We're not dealing with this.
We're not dealing with this.
So that made our not so little very happy.
Oh, she was so excited.
And I saw, normally PPS will call it around 6 a.m. Last night they were like, hey guys, I know you're worried. We'll let you know by 6 a.m. And then I think it was like 5 or so. Like it was soon after I woke up that it was like, yep.
Yeah, we ain't doing it.
Ain't doing it.
Ain't doing it. Not happening.
And having lived here for, most of my life and certainly all of my K through 12.
Yeah.
It is amazing to see the evolution. And I don't know, I'm not a teacher and I don't work for the district in any way. So I don't know if it's annoying to see this go from basically like, oh, it may not snow, so we're not even going to worry about it, to there's nothing outside and we've still already called it.
That's right.
Do any of y'all remember that? It would be like, get here safe.
Oh, man.
I will never forget I think it was the 2006 I'll never forget the actual event, but I don't remember the year. I think it was 2005 or 2006. There was an ice skating championship here.
Oh, wow.
And I worked at the Rose Quarter, and there was Ice-ageddon here. Ice-mageddon. It was, you cannot get anywhere. And they really said to me, like,
take your time.
no, well, if I'm here, you can get here.
Oh.
I live farther away than you do. Woo. Oh, guess what? I don't have snow tires. I'm a child.
Right.
What do you mean?
Wow.
I don't have any of those things. And send somebody to come get me. Now, I happen to love that person. And so I don't want to make it sound like she ain't cool for that.
Right.
But fam, nobody needed that. I didn't need that. All to get yelled at all day by people who are like, will you be giving me a refund? No, because
natural disaster.
Sorry, baby. That's not how these events work.
Yeah.
And the show went on. Yeah, they were here.
Oh, gotcha.
They were here.
Were like, it's too icy for me to get there. I need my money back.
Yes. Which, as a person who's worked in ticketing for a long time, one of my absolute most amazing favorite things is to get yelled at by people for weather. Yeah. And I do, in fact, take that energy knowing that people do that when I'm flying and something has happened. And when they say to you, it's weather. You know what I mean? I want so badly to be like, tell me what that even means. But honestly, it doesn't matter. That means the plane's not here.
That's
right?
it. That's it.
The plane's not here. Okay, I got to figure something else out. Anyway, that's not what I was supposed to be talking about. I have not slept and I am delirious. Can I blame it on that?
I think so. You're killing it, though.
I just want, we had a couple of things in the warm-up that we don't get to go too far into, but I do just have to say, solidarity update with the Providence workers. They had reached, well, I guess we've reached a critical juncture because the members overwhelmingly rejected the tentative agreement between the ONA, the Oregon Nurses Association, and Providence Management. 83% of nurses said absolutely not. 7 out of the 8 hospitals,
yikes,
absolutely not. So we are supposed to be headed back. They're supposed to be headed back to negotiating, and we know how management loves to do that. And I just want to mention that the striking workers are asking for management of Providence to tell us all, tell the public how much money you have been spending on temporary workers, which I will not in any way censor scabs, because it looks like they are spending $25 million a week.
Jeez.
There are nurses getting paid $8,000 a week, which how much I would love for nurses to get paid $8,000 a week.
Right.
I got a feeling care might be different. But not when a registered nurse is that's 3 times what a registered nurse is making at Providence. $8,000 a week for temporary work. They will spend every penny to not pay us as workers. That's got to sit in our bones, and we need to understand that is off rip.
Right. Wow.
And go with that energy when you're negotiating. There's more. They have enough for you. They have enough to pay all of those workers fairly. They have enough to add workers. And they need to add workers. That's a part of the issue, is that you want hospitals to run on shoestring budgets so that you get buku profits. Solidarity always. This is a humongous strike for not just workers, but very, very big deal for healthcare, especially as, we have more class consciousness around industry that is doing the dastardly things to us on purpose. Like understanding that insurance absolutely is a joke, a real dangerous joke. They are not interested in giving healthcare. They're interested in profits. And when we privatize all of these things, as this administration certainly wants so badly to do.
It's their favorite.
As you know, Elon Musk and his companies are humongous government contractors already. They're already getting too much of our money for nothing.
Yeah. Zero return. Zero.
Yeah. Okay. Now move on. Let's hit the union, since we're talking about unions and union busting. Just hit the Sizzle Pie story real fast, and then if you want to move into a national, because this is when Ambush first started visiting here. There was I don't remember what the reason was, but you were like, you guys aren't big on chains here. Like, there's not a bunch of chains, right?
Yeah.
And
it's one of the things I heard about Portland before I got here. Like, they're very friendly to mom and pop situations and small business. And it's like, we don't do the big chains. We kick them out. Like, that's what I heard about Portland before I got here.
So
big chains go.
And we have definitely chased out some big places, right? Or big ports. Or course, I don't know.
That's why you guys don't have a line on Kitty City.
I'm sorry.
Or KB Toys. You guys were like, get out of here, big chains.
Oh, we definitely have KB Toys.
Okay.
But
not anymore.
Well, certainly. Are there real toys? Like, are those around? Are those about?
No.
What was my point?
You're doing
chains. Yeah. So, yeah, small business is a big deal here. This is I guess we're somebody thought that was a good idea, that you would let people start businesses and
you let them thrive.
and you'd help find a way to make them thrive. And then things happen. And maybe your company gets bought by a larger company. Maybe that larger company is an investment firm or shadowy
Blackwater.
Right. Maybe that's what's happening. But that definitely happened in Sizzle Pie's case. They were purchased by Sortis Holdings or something, which has now rebranded itself as SOFI Brand or something. A longtime staple in Portland's pizza scene announced this week that it will be closing its original East Side location just months after employees at the shop began efforts to unionize. While the company insists the closure is due to a failed lease renegotiation, labor advocates and some employees suspect it's a clear case of union busting. In a statement posted to social media, Sizzle Pie's, real quick, shout out to Jordan Owens for putting me on game yesterday. In a statement posted to social media, Sizzle Pie's owners denied any connection between the union effort and the decision to shut down, saying, quote, "We want to be clear. This closure is solely due to our inability to come to terms on a lease renewal and is in no way related to unionization efforts." I wonder where we have heard anything like that before.
So it's unrelated, guys.
One's got nothing to do with the other.
Yeah.
I don't even know where you would even come up with that.
Who's forming a union? We didn't hear anything about that.
They also noted that they are in discussions with the union to support transitioning employees. Sure. However, skeptics argue that the timing is suspicious. The East Side location, Sizzle Pie's first and most iconic shop, was at the center of a budding unionization effort. Union supporters point to a familiar pattern seen in other industries where companies shut down unionizing stores under the guise of financial or logistical reasons. Hey, do any of y'all remember so long ago when they were talking about all of the retail places closing due to shoplifting? Yeah, retail theft. Thank you. And then those same people were like, whoopsie doodles, record profits. I guess not so much retail theft. I wonder why we needed to close all those stores. Well, I know for certain that the Safeway by my dad's house in Washington closed, and the neighborhood believes it's because they were trying to unionize.
Sheesh.
But
they closed the whole Safeway.
Yes. Shuttered.
Wow. Sheesh.
Because those workers were trying to unionize. They were like, "Oh man, we can't get this lease."
That was a poppin' Safeway.
The thing is,
always busy.
That's funny to me. Always, keep Nike factory store in your mind,
right? Local
folks, keep that MLK store in your mind when you think about places that are like just flatly lying about why they need to close.
Right.
Flatly lying. There's no reason that building's still sitting. Who was you negotiating the lease with? Yourself? You mean to tell me that Nike isn't able to negotiate a lease?
Not with all the country y'all in.
Not with all the money you have, not with all the power you yield. Like, I absolutely refuse to believe.
Just couldn't navigate.
Just couldn't navigate it. This particular company, and I promise to move on. I've now ruined our entire show.
No.
This particular company, SOFI Brand, has already, as they came in pretending to be some angel investors that are going to, shape your business, and you come work for us now, and, at our corporate office, and all your employees, we're running those little ships.
Right.
They stopped paying rent places. They're not paying invoices.
Not paying for equipment that's
So the small mom and pop shops that they are getting equipment from, that they are getting food from, aren't getting paid and have to stop their shipments to them or deliveries to get paid. When they say they couldn't negotiate a deal, y'all didn't pick up a phone. What lease were you trying to negotiate? I absolutely refuse to believe that could be anywhere near close to true.
Right. You're union busting.
You're union busting. Simple. You are Starbucks. You are REI. It's disgusting. And that thing gonna close on Sunday, February 23rd.
Wild. Absolutely wild. Rudo, in response to my KB Toys thing, said 2008 chased out KB Toys grandpa ambush. B-Town sent another photo. The snow is sticking.
Oh, whoa.
That's a coat.
Look at that little jacket.
Huh? That little windbreaker of
Just
snow.
look at that little windbreaker jacket of snow.
Wow.
Oh, I'm not mad.
Okay. All right. Happy little Morgan there.
I am excited.
Look at you. I am excited. Oh, man. Okay.
All right.
One of these national stories.
Yeah.
We got, what's that guy's name? We got Eric Adams, which I could bump Eric.
Well, we kind of already talked about the Operation Warp Speed that is Trump shutting down the federal government. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Give us Eric Adams. If we have time, we'll go into the Ron Wyden.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, scrolling, and I found it. Nope, I didn't. Scrolling, and I found it again.
I found it if you haven't found it.
Well, what's going on? Was it at the top? I just didn't pass it. Cool.
I'm just going to start reading if you don't.
Okay. Start reading and I'll jump.
In a stunning turn of events, the Trump administration has ordered federal prosecutors to drop the corruption case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. I'm not sure what to call him today. Is he the hip-hop mayor? Oh, okay.
Don't you dare.
All right, never mind. Effectively eliminating the legal threat that had loomed over his re-election bid. The decision announced Monday follows months of Adams aligning himself with President Trump in ways that many critics see as political self-preservation.
Adams, who was indicted last September on conspiracy, wire fraud, and bribery charges, has maintained his innocence. However, after Trump's election victory in November, the mayor dramatically shifted his political posture. He made multiple trips to Florida and Washington, D.C., seeking proximity to the president-elect. He also signaled a willingness to cooperate with Trump's aggressive deportation policies while hiring an attorney with ties to Elon Musk, a close Trump ally. That's a way to describe it. The administration's rationale for dropping the case was outlined in a letter from acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove, who wrote that Adams' cooperation was essential to Trump's immigration agenda. The letter explicitly linked Adams' legal fate to his willingness to support federal efforts to curb what Trump has called unlawful mass migration and resettlement. Notably, the letter left open the possibility of revisiting the case after the 2025 mayoral election, keeping Adams under Trump's influence. The fallout has been immediate. Critics argue that Adams is now politically indebted to Trump and will be unable to stand up to the administration's policies, particularly concerning New York's immigrant communities. Murad Awawade, president of the New York Immigration Coalition, said there should be no longer any doubt that Eric Adams is going to be selling out immigrant New Yorkers in order to keep himself out of prison. Reports indicate that Adams has already instructed city officials not to criticize Trump or interfere with immigration enforcement efforts. The decision also raises concerns about Adams' ability to push back on Trump's broader policy agenda, including his plans to dismantle the federal Department of Education. Such a move could cost New York City public schools $2 billion in federal funding. Yet Adams' critics worry he is now too compromised to fight back effectively. I gotta say something real quick. Adams, the things that they're concerned about within this relationship, Adams has already done.
Yep.
Defunding the public schools in New York, he's already been doing that. He's already been closing schools.
Working on more. Let's get a magnet program going.
Right.
Don't you want a voucher?
People being concerned that because of what they're seeing playing out now, that Adams will be indebted to Trump. You know what's really interesting about that? The thing that they're concerned might happen as a result of that relationship is literally what Eric Adams got charged and indicted with.
Weird.
You're afraid he might be making backdoor deals and indebting himself to
a powerful person.
To a powerful person. Literally what the investigation is. So this is literally...
What investigation?
Right. Literally Eric doing Eric. And it's like, we're concerned. Oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Adams' Democratic challenger sees on the news, blasting the mayor for prioritizing his political survival over the interest of New Yorkers. State Senator Zelnor Myrie called the move unprecedented, legally and morally. They got to do away with that. It's not unprecedented. While City Comptroller Brad Lander stated Adams is standing up for precisely one person, and that's himself. New Yorkers deserve better. Meanwhile, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, seen as a likely contender in the mayoral race, has remained conspicuously silent. Some political strategists believe Adams' re-election chances are irreparably damaged, regardless of his legal troubles. Politically, Eric Adams is dead. One strategist told reporters, arguing that the mayor's declining approval ratings were due less to the investigation and more to widespread public dissatisfaction with his leadership. Despite the controversy, Adams appears determined to press forward. On Tuesday, he delivered a brief live-stream speech rather than his usual in-person press conference. He proclaimed his innocence, quoted the Bible, and vowed to restore public trust.
Yeah.
Whether he could do so while navigating his new precarious alliance with Trump remains an open question. I think he's going to get reelected. As much as I don't want him to.
I don't know why you would have any reason to think otherwise.
Right. As much as I was disappointed in New Yorkers electing him in the first place, I think they're going to reelect him. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, the gang's all here. I'm sure, if the voters don't want him, there's still a way for him to become the mayor.
Right. I can't remember. Did he start out saying he was New York's Joe Biden or New York's Donald Trump?
Oh, no. He was always America's Israel.
New York is the Israel of America.
Yeah.
Oh,
we are Israel.
So
I don't think it matters if he was Joe or Trump.
He really needs a slogan writer because stuff he comes up with his own is horrid, terrible.
Can I read a cute message we got from Brooke?
Yeah.
It says, I wrote this on Monday. Second guess myself. Never second guess yourself, Brooke.
No,
you know what you're doing.
Not you.
Good morning, fiancés. And oh my God, watching you two, the dance of relationships on display in front of us. Interrupting, apologizing, subtle side eye, and love. Adore you two. I don't know why you are highlighting the side eye that Ambush loves to give me.
Wow.
Just kidding. Thank you so much, Brooke. That means a lot.
Yes.
It means a lot. And I am trying very hard to not interrupt. I am not succeeding, but I am trying very hard. And I am apologizing a lot more.
Listen, this is what happens when you're excited. We're passionate about what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to discuss some badminton. We don't know anything about that.
I do too. What are you talking about? I'm a great badminton player.
Huh? When did this start?
Childhood, babe.
I was say for the history of our relationship, I have never seen you play badminton.
You don't like to go play games outdoors.
Not true.
Okay.
Your father got me into golfing.
Okay.
And
well, that's not.
Another family member got me into fishing.
Also,
both of those are sports. Yep. You don't get they're actually sports.
Okay.
So
they're kind of they can be done totally alone though, Which doesn't mean it's not a sport.
Right.
Hey, man.
Well,
where are my hands? They're all the way up here. Don't shoot.
Just make sure you invite me to your next badminton.
Tourney?
You guys do brunch and badminton?
Batty badminton brunch.
God.
Oh, it's Batty shot o'clock. We doing it.
No, I don't like any
I didn't play
of
badminton in a while.
this.
I can't tell who this is for. Oh, what are you laughing at?
Cease. Eric Adams is a 0. Gotham doesn't deserve.
Yes.
With the one it has right now.
Seize.
Yeah.
It's exactly that.
Oh my God.
Big 0.
Big 0. He's horrible.
I just don't know that New York is clamoring for more of him, but I do know that the anti-immigrant stuff works for the surrounding area of New York City. So like lots of folks that ain't got no business being mad at an immigrant, are like, they're giving them hotel stays.
Bruh.
They're getting all the SNAP money.
Come on.
Are they? Could you look just once to see if you were right about a thing before you were mad about it?
Jura said Sizzle Pie turned off the comments.
I just bet they did.
Wow.
This is satisfying.
Nope.
Oh,
No.
would you rather you
We gotta
read
go
it?
to a music break.
No. Oh my God. Brooke said, oh my God, I'm referring to a moment where Ambush interrupted. Yes, even better. Notice how he has yet to apologize. Yeah, you read that text. Oh. Vindicated, baby.
Why are you pumping your arms?
I'm vindicated. It wasn't me this time.
Morgan, I apologize for interrupting you.
Thank you.
Our last one, our Monday night broadcast.
Look at that. Forgiven.
I don't know how many times I've done it or which particular interruption, but I'm sure there were several.
And that's the way to apologize.
Yeah.
I do it so much I have no idea.
Okay.
Which one you could be.
Brooke, look what you started. This is why I've asked you countless times. So your critiques just to me.
Things you will never do is gatekeep critiques. No. You don't get to do that.
Wow.
And I think that honestly, our listeners know that you don't get to be in charge of certain information.
Our
fiancés very specifically know that you be lying, and you're gonna say the opposite just for S&Gs.
It's true. I do love my S&Gs.
Yeah.
My life's play. It gets the people going. It really does. It really does. It's successful.
We have a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Can I just?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, I want to mention this that I was going to do in the Ep8 because
Your world.
there's an Oregon officer who got a really awesome deal for doing some real yucky stuff. And I think did I really just say yucky on the radio?
You did.
I think it's important that this story is known. So former Scappoose police officer Eric Zwald has pleaded guilty to official misconduct after using police databases to look up a 17-year-old Dutch Bros worker and her mom.
Could you repeat that one more time,
Sure.
please?
Yeah, absolutely. Former Scappoose police officer Eric Zwald has pleaded guilty to misconduct after using police databases to look up a 17-year-old Dutch Bros worker. The teen, who is now 20 and no longer lives here, says Zwald frequently visited the coffee shop, made her and her coworkers completely uncomfortable, and showed her that he could access her records. Zwald, 51, admitted to running her name in 2022 for personal reasons.
Personal reasons.
He did it and showed it to her. Like, I can find anything I need to. Looks her name up and shows it to her. As part of a plea deal, he agreed to surrender his police certification for life and have no contact with this woman. If he stays here, please hear me when I say, if he stays out of trouble for the next year and a half, his conviction will be dropped. Otherwise, he faces 60 days in jail.
Cool.
While she is relieved that he's no longer a cop, she's incredibly frustrated that the deal only restricts contact with her, not the other women that he targeted. There were 4 other misconduct charges related to looking up other Dutch Bros workers who were all under 18 girls.
Oh my gosh.
And this girl's mom. He looked up this girl's mom's information and showed it to her. And those charges were dropped because he took this plea. This plea that he gets to say, I'm guilty of the one thing and not the other things. And also, if I can just keep my nose clean for a year and a half, no one will ever know it was me. There's a lot happening in Columbia County because there's 2 high school teachers and a principal that are facing legal trouble for alleged sexual misconduct and failure to report. You got the police out here harassing 17-year-old girls at work. She said that he would wait for her in the parking lot when they closed and would not allow her to leave without talking to him.
What?
He would come 2 to 3, sometimes 4 times a day. Having worked at a coffee shop and a drive-through coffee shop many a year ago, people definitely 2-3 times in a day.
Sure. There have been some days where we used to go twice.
Yeah.
They're rare. There were days we used to go twice.
It's not 3 to 4 times a day of anything seems like excess. Seems like maybe you're not on the job.
Yeah.
Seems like maybe you shouldn't be sitting in your patrol car at the Dutch Bros watching the teen girls work.
That's nasty work.
And if you get to just say, oh man, yeah, okay, I did. I looked up her information once for myself. I was just trying to see what's going on. I'm guilty of that. Don't charge me with any of that other stuff, though.
You know how you always see it, whether it's a Netflix special, Hulu, whoever. There's this serial killer or is a serial anything? And either they were law enforcement, attached to law enforcement, they tried out to be law enforcement and failed. They've had crosses with law enforcement, and law enforcement is always like, well, we didn't see any indications. He was so good at they always paint this picture of just like, it came out of nowhere. This person is clearly exhibiting predatory behavior with minors.
Talk to him.
Plain for everyone to see. And the deal is, if you behave yourself for a year and a half, you literally can go back to doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you just don't get to be a cop.
And then they'll wait for something to actually happen.
Yep. There's someone on the force knew, a friend knew, people know, you know when people have some proclivities. You may not know what they exactly are.
When that guy,
but bro, if you're sitting at the Dutch Bros, known for having young kids working, if you're sitting there all day, somebody's looking at you with the side eye that is in the squad.
Listen, when that guy is going to Dutch Bros 4 times a day, casually pulling up people's information, best believe he is Matt Gates on the floor. He is
right. He's showing
exactly.
Yeah, when I told her that I could access her mom's information.
Yeah, he's going back and he's talking to other cops. Right, he's sharing that information. Real. Like, yeah, this isn't by the time we hear about it,
ACAB, yes, even your dad.
Bro, like, come on, man. That is like, it's despicable.
Like, we are literally living in a world where men are saying things like rape culture isn't real, while 17-year-olds can't just do their part-time job without being harassed by the local law enforcement.
Nasty.
And not because, there's some hooligans out here and I got to make sure they know not to, you are, like, he tried to offered them his cell phone number, the girls. Like, if anything, if you ever need me, give me a call. Dude, you are a random man. Back to Bob saying, would you let this random 19-year-old in your house? Would I give this random man my number as a 17-year-old? Like, yeah, please help me. That you have scared me the entire time you come here.
Sir, you come to my job 4 times a day. If I give you my number, are you wild? You will be texting and calling this youth incessantly. You are going to be like, why aren't you picking up? Give me the GPS on this number real quick. Pull right up. I see you at the stand. I just called your phone.
I called your phone. Why aren't you answering? I texted you. How come you? Come on, man. And you gonna pull up in my drive-through line? Like she said that she would try and hide, when he'd come in, and then he wouldn't leave until she came out and said hi. I really need folks to understand this is not just LOL, ha ha ha. That police officer is so nice and funny. Like, that's disgustingly predatory behavior, not just on a minor, but in front of a bunch of other minors that also know that they're uncomfortable and don't like it. And you're just totes fine with it because that's what power does.
You know what else power does?
What?
Lay complicit. Lay in that bed of complicity with it. Do you think she reported this to her managers? We already know where Dutch Bros is with the cops, but
yeah,
it's not that they didn't know this was happening. Yeah, a bunch of side eyes and shoulders turned to, oh, that's no big deal.
Oh, so and so doesn't mean any harm. I don't know. Honestly, there is something to be said about a business model where everybody is really young, and I don't know. Do those managers have the skills to deal with that? Do they have the confidence to deal with that?
Right.
I mean,
which is part of the model, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that manipulation. Yeah, absolutely.
So to your point, like to me.
Yeah, definitely remember being a young 20-something and feeling like my job as this supervisor or this manager is the most important thing that I am doing right now. And I can't let someone else who was a year younger than me or someone who was 10 years older than me, who I'm now in charge of, I really can't let you mess this up. I feel like you guys don't understand the big picture here. That's why. The
big picture is I'm being harassed.
Well, let's see how we can sort this out and not take this other chain of command.
C said, officer was trying to strike a chord and it was
fabulous.
And that's how you end the show. Thank you, C.
Fabulous. That was Losing My Fiancé.
Also, he added needs jail time.
Absolutely. That was Losing My Fiancé. Brought to you by Morgan Jones, DJ Ambush, our podcast editor, the illustrious Kyle G Residual Audio. I've updated the playlist. There's only play one song during the show, and I'm going to play one to close us out.
Quick reminder, there is no EGC free food market today.
There is no market.
Due to inclement weather, no market.
Yes.
Holla at him next Thursday.
Everybody, please travel safe. We got an updated photo from P-Town. That is snow.
That's snow.
That's a cover.
The updated photo is, windshields, cars are covered.
Yeah.
Crap.
So don't let the individual distract you from the systems. Poverty is a policy choice. People over profits, power to the people. None of us are free until we are all free. Stay engaged with us all week. Follow us on socials at Losing My Fiancé and myself at Scambeezy and Morgan Jones, the one you really want to follow, at Portland Morgan. Thanks for listening.
Bye.